Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kyusho here, and now, before we start, let us give a brief little review. In the last part, a number of things have happened. We had Izuku, and we also had Iron Man. Now, Deku met Tony Stark. Tony Stark fell from the sky, and Deku, he tried to help the man get out of his armor after the power turned off and the lights went out. Now, Tony, he was definitely impressed with Izuku. He was smart, intelligent, and in the few minutes they talked, he understood a lot. Iron Man's not going to be around forever. Tony sadly knew that whenever his arc reactor's power ran out, he had a time limit, and that was ticking down. Izuku, he's got a brilliant mind. He's got a knack for robotics. All he's lacking is the money, resources, and opportunity. And Tony, he made a decision. Before he went in for his surgery that could possibly save his life, he talked to Pepper. And Pepper was given his last wish, his dying wish. Give this boy the opportunity to become Iron Man. Help the boy out and make sure his legacy, Iron Man, doesn't die with him. Now, this was definitely sort of a hefty ask, but Pepper, she wanted to honor the wishes of her friend, not just her boss. And that meant quite a lot. Deku, he was given a watch that led him to a location. This was a puzzle, and Deku was putting it together. Step 1 was finding the armory. Step 2 was rebuilding it. And step 3 was building Iron Man armor, or repurposing the one he found that was in terrible condition. And that means quite a lot right now. Izuku, he's been doing quite a lot. It has been 2 weeks, and currently there are a few things going through his head. He's still trying to understand and wrap his mind around a lot. School's on break for the summer, and now that he's not in those college courses, he's got a lot of time. He's been spending a lot of time out away from home. He's been building and tinkering, and also trying to do a lot. And right now Deku, he doesn't leave his lab, or the armory, trying to get a lot through his head. I mean, he hasn't tinkered around with it yet, but the Iron Man armor, he's got to figure it out. That's gonna be interesting. And Izuku, he's not really too sure how to go with that. I mean, it'll take time and effort, and that does mean quite a bit. Him heading home, as his mom does notice that Izuku does come home late again, and it has been somewhat concerning her. Izuku's gift has left him isolated. I mean, quirks popped up before her generation, and people, they are being born with superpowers. Izuku's just one of the people who haven't been. I mean, it's possible he could be a mutant or an inhuman or, well, just anything. But they don't know yet. They've had him tested. It's only a matter of time before the genes pop up or they don't. Though Izuku's already gone through puberty, he's still going through it. There's a chance his powers, if he does have some, may never awaken. But Inko, she doesn't understand that Izuku's brilliant mind has left him isolated on a lot of things. He graduated college at the age of 13, and he's been just going through additional courses and learning a lot. There are a lot of people with their eyes on Izuku because he's a knack, a whiz with machines, and it means quite a bit. Deku, he's gonna do a lot in the world, and Inko just wants the best for her son. He's alone, or maybe he's not. The thought has crossed her mind. Is her son getting involved in something that he shouldn't? Does he have friends? Does he have a girlfriend he was spending time with? Just a way to explain where he could have been tonight, the night before, and the night before that. It does concern her. And Inko, she does at least try to talk to Asashi about this and bring it up to him. And Asashi himself, he does want to talk to Izuku, see where his boy might be at. And there actually is the next day, where Deku, he was in his room. He was drawing up some designs and thinking about a lot of things. And currently Izuku is trying to think of a way to rewire certain things in the armory. The place is almost back up and running. It wasn't in terrible condition, but it was an iron fortress. I mean, the tech didn't wear down. Yeah, some of it was destroyed and from misuse, improper use, being just left there to rot. Definitely a lot of components need to be replaced, though it's still good. And that's his main thing. It's been easy so far. The actual challenges come with the armor. And that's on Deku's mind. There's a lot to do there, a lot to think about. And currently there actually is a knock on the door. Deku could actually someone turn and go to close his notebook. Him bringing his hand up and tapping the button on his headphones. Him going to at least try and ask his dad if that's him. Smart boy. Can I come in? Deku going to actually stand up, walking over and unlocking the door. Him opening it up and asking his dad, what's up? Hey, me and you need to have a chat. What's it about? Do you need help with something? No, Izuku. Just worried, is all. Oh. I'm fine, Dad. Are you? Your mom says you've been sneaking out at night. I'm not going to be evasive with you, I'll be blunt. Where have you been going? I did not expect that. It's a lot to explain. Listen, courses for college let out, but I'm trying to do a few things. Yeah, I'm working on a project. I've been staying at the tech lab a little late. Really? So you've been coming home at 2 in the morning from a tech lab? Dad, I don't expect you to understand. Izuku, I'm trying to understand. That's why I'm worried. You're making an effort. Yes, I am. So, just tell me the truth. Are you involved in anything? Someone? Something bad? No, Dad. So what are you involved in? It's a secret project, Dad. Trust me, if I could tell you, I would. But we've all agreed to keep it a secret for right now. An NDA? Right. Okay. Listen, we do worry about you, Izuku. I understand. Trust me, there's nothing to worry about. Though, if you start to panic like that, then you're gonna make me concerned about my own project. Right. Alright then. Hisashi going his own turn, and walk away. Izuku seemed okay. He seemed fine. But he is a little bit more concerned. Yeah, he'll keep an eye on this. If Izuku's just start to act up or act weird, then they can figure that all out. However, until then, it's gonna be a bit strange. Now, there currently is Deku, who does get back to work. And over the next few weeks, a few things start to happen. Deku, he does encounter his own challenges with the Iron Man armor. He does have to do some troubleshooting. And a few more things. The armor isn't exactly the right size for him to wear. So he does have to somewhat cut it down a bit, reshape certain things, and refabricate certain metals. And that actually is a little bit more interesting to him. Though he does keep one thing. He does still have that faceplate Tony Stark gave him. He thought about putting that on his armor, but it didn't feel right having his mask. Heroes, they have their own signatures and insignia, something that makes them recognizable. And Deku, he wanted to keep that faceplate. That was Tony's, a memento of him, and he decided to make his own new one. And Deku, he currently doesn't want to stand there. After weeks of working, he finally was able to get it done. And it's been intriguing. And he does have one more idea. So I'm going to turn and ask Friday what she thinks of the armor. Armor completion. Analyzing. So, it is intriguing. Yeah. After all that work, it's really mine. Friday, did anybody ever discover what killed Tony Stark? Conclusion. Shrapnel in chest. Not what I meant. Further understanding needed of this question. Tony Stark fell from the sky. Data updated. Yeah. He fell out of the sky and his armor was depowered. What was he fighting to do that? Answer not able to be given. Really? Correct. Data unknown. Cannot further continue with line of questioning. Friday, do you think that Tony... Never mind. Now, Deku just still won't stir on. And it does feel a little intimidating. However, right now Izuku, he's gonna walk over. Him, bring his hand up, and bring it up onto the armor. As right now, he does want to suit up. And there actually is after Deku does get the armor put on. And right now, he definitely feels a bit strange. Though, he feels good. It fits. Like it was made for him. And Deku, he does want to smile. And right now, he does do a few things. He gets Friday put into his suit. And he does try to ask her about a bit of things. Especially because he's going to need a little bit of guidance. Friday does try to ask Izuku exactly what may he need guidance on. And Deku, he does try to tell her. He needs to get up in the air. Also, right now they're just going on a test flight. And that does mean quite a lot. He wants to be able to fly this thing and see if it's good. I mean, so far he just has this thing built from what he found. And that does mean it's got basic stuff. So maybe he'll deal with upgrades later. Or maybe making an actual suit from scratch instead of just resalvaging one. I mean, this is what? Gotta be a Mark II, a Mark III or something. So, Deku looking down at his hand. He can classify this as his Mark I, but it's a salvage job. No, he needs to make a proper suit. But he could use this one for right now. This one has good stuff inside of it, and it gives him a ton of designs, details, things to just work with. It gives him a lot to work with. Tony, you crazy bastard. Now, Deku does smile. And currently, Friday does understand. And Deku, he does go to head out. Him flying out from the underground area as they fly up high into the sky. And Deku, he is amazed. He feels his blood pumping. and he feels how fast he's moving. And it's insane. Iron Man feels like this every day. Tony, he used to have this rush, and it must have felt great to him. And Deku, he's excited. He understands more about Tony Stark's mindset. He understands how he felt, what he saw every day. And Deku, yeah. Right now, this is a bit more interesting. He stepped into the shoes of a man he idolized. And now he can share a feeling, understand where he was in this moment. It definitely sort of tugs at his heartstrings. Izuku, he was happy. And some people, they saw something flying overhead. Some thought it was War Machine. And some, they weren't too sure what it was. Maybe it could just be Ultron or somebody else in a suit of armor. Or maybe it could just be a bad guy. Who really knows? Just keep your head down and they might not kill you. That's on some of their minds. And Deku, yeah. Right now he does have a lot of fun. Him flying around the city and testing his armor. However, he is yet to test the real combat capabilities of the suit. And that does get through Deku's mind. As currently he is flying up high, and he does gonna do one thing. He goes to cut off the thrusters. Right now him going up and up and up, as he does start falling. Deku bringing his hands down and going to actually blast them out, as his body does a lean with his head down. Now, currently Deku does float there. Him somewhat upside down, as he actually is trying to test out the mobility of the armor, understanding where it's at and how things are. And he even made things sort of apparent, letting Friday know to keep the power percentage on screen, since he doesn't really want to run out of power in the sky. And Friday didn't understand. However, she got a radio into Izuku, relaying a message that she picked up from police broadcast and emergency systems. And Deku, he was kind of surprised. Friday going to inform him that right now police are in pursuit of a number of suspects, and things aren't really too easy. Along with that, it is believed that Frank Castle has already taken down 3 of the suspects, since he is also currently in the pursuit. And that does somewhat alarm Izuku. Frank Castle? The freaking Punisher? And Deku, he's a lot more surprised. And he does try to tell Friday. Tell him where it's at. Or tell him where it's all at. And Friday doesn't understand. Her going at least to inform Izuku, as right now a map is going to pop up and he doesn't see it. Currently the way their location is heading. There is a live broadcast of the chase, and that means quite a bit. And Deku, he has to look back down. Him gonna lean forwards and fly. And currently Izuku, he does start to pick up speed. And right now there actually is a lot of people. A lot of people are watching what's happening. And there currently is Frank Castle. Frank Castle currently has a lean out of his battle fan, bringing up his weapon and firing off his pistol. And currently there actually is the person who, they are actually on a bike. Them turning and bringing up their own weapon. Trying to blast at Frank Castle, as it is to have the bullets directly bounce off of the bulletproof glass on the battle van. And Frank, he does just speed up. And currently there is where he should have rammed the guy on the bike, since he doesn't want to see him splatter onto a red paste on the highway. And Frank, well, he is thinking about that very therapeutic thought to him. There currently is Izuku, who he has him flying in. And right over Frank does a ram into the bike, they made it sent flying forwards into the air. However, Deku does bring his hands down, grabbing onto him. And Deku, he has a fly up. Him currently going to turn and try and stop. However, Izuku, he does just continue to fly. And the person they are screaming out. And right now Deku, he's smashing down and dragging across the pavement. Him eventually going to stop, as the person, they do get back up. Them, so I'm going to try and shake themselves off because they feel thrown around. Now, Deku does a turn and get back up as the person. They're going to reach out for their gun. They're going to bring it up as Deku. He has to at least bring up his hands. talking about how that really won't, then firing it at him. And Deku doesn't feel the bullets repel off of his armor, as Deku's gonna bring his hand up and send out a blast. Right now it going to blow apart the gun as the person is sent flying backwards and smashing onto the ground. I'm gonna get back up. Holy shit! I thought you were dead. Hmm? Maybe you got the wrong idea. I'm not Tony Stark. Now, people do come to drive by, and currently the news does start to report on a few things. As currently there is Frank Castle. Frank Castle, he continued to drive. And Deku, he handed this person over to the police, and he didn't get a turn. Him currently gonna fly up and take off. And everyone, they're watching that. And there currently is Pepper Potts. Pepper, she heard about something, and, well, Jarvis immediately contacted her, since it's about Iron Man. And Pepper, she turned on the news to see it. Tons of people around New York were watching what's happening. Iron Man's alive, or back, and it seems a little strange. Now, Deku, he does at least get to try and go after Frank Castle. Him flying back in and going to actually land on top of the van. Him bringing his hand up and smashing it down onto the bulletproof glass. Deku does bring his hand up again. Him smashing into it and instead breaking through. And Frank doesn't hit the brakes. Deku being sent flying forwards as does I turn on his jet boots. Him flying directly into the van and going to actually try and turn his body. Him trying to push the van back as Frank is putting pedal to the metal. And currently Deku is going to turn on the maximum amount for the thrusters as the van is actually pushed back. Frank having to put the car in reverse and try and throw it backwards and spin around Izuku. Now, Frank, he goes in reverse, backing up fast as right now Deku, he pushes the van backwards. Frank spinning the wheel as Deku's flying forwards and down the highway, bringing his hands down and blasting himself back up. Him going to actually try and spin his body around and turn back to the van. As Frank, he has a stare on Izuku, bring up his gun, and they're going to lower it, putting the car back in a drive and speeding off. And right now Deku, he has actually chase after Frank Castle. However, right now Frank, he's with a bit of a problem. These two guys got away. And right now somebody pretending to be Iron Man is chasing him down. Now, Deku, he has to catch back up to the battle van. And right now Deku, he is trying to think about a few things. He can disable the van, but that would send Frank Castle flying. He's going 70 miles on the highway, and this isn't good. Okay, what can he do? Now, Frank does to bring his hand up. Him currently going to actually aim the gun upwards and blast up. The guy's in a suit of armor, and if he's right, Iron Man was bulletproof, so he should be too. Though he can't really let him stop him. And Deku, he currently does go just won't sit there. And Frank, he does actually have a few ideas. Him currently going to speed up as he hit the brakes. Deku being sent flying off of it, as somebody this time, they do come flying in. And that actually is War Machine. War Machine just come flying down, bringing his weapons up and blasting them out. Missiles flying through the air and smashing into the tires. And Frank's van, it's taken down. As right now Deku, he has to get back up on his feet. This time, Frank actually isn't staying there as he turn and run off. And War Machine, he has to turn and see, what is this? Now, he actually has to at least fly up into the air, talking about how they'll talk about this in a minute. He is going to go handle Frank Castle. Stay here. And Deku, he does start on that. War Machine taking flight to go apprehend the Punisher. And Deku, he's not too sure how to talk to War Machine. I mean, he's got to get out of here. Deku blasting up into the air and going to take off. And War Machine, yeah. When he does head back here after a minute or two, he doesn't find Izuku. He wants to try and see if he can scan for a trace. But that armor. I mean, he hasn't seen an armor like that in years. It was smaller. It was designed differently. It was... No, this can't be right. That was Stark Tech, wasn't it? But how the hell did who is pretending to be now? It is covered on the news the next day that currently there is somebody trying to take on the mantle of Iron Man. And there is even news coverage. Because from what they can tell, this is more like Iron Lad, as some people have called him, not Iron Man. And Deku, he does feel a bit annoyed hearing about that. But there actually is Pepper Potts, who does try to give a public statement about what's going on. And people, they also do at least try to ask James Rhodes about what he thinks about the quote unquote new Iron Man. And Rhodey, he talks about it. He's not too sure who this person is yet, so he doesn't have enough information to make a public opinion. But personally, he believes that what they're doing isn't right. They're taking on the mantle of his best friend, and he wants them to understand. Whatever they're doing, they need to stop. Hand over the Stark tech and just let it go. Let go of Tony's tech. It doesn't belong to him. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed, and have an amazing day. I'll catch you guys in the next part.